tough loss against the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal on Saturday night. The Leafs welcome in the Arizona Coyotes to town there this evening. And boy, oh boy, it was a grinded out game, a sloppy game at times, but a victory in overtime for the Buds. And they have winners now of 2 of their last 3. They have 5 points out of a possible 6 in their last 3 games. Yes, this team has not played very well, but Jack Campbell has come in here, guys, and showed us something we haven't seen since Curtis McElhinney. Some stable backup goaltending. You know, what have we seen? What do we see from Jack Campbell today? Well, what you did see, you saw some big saves, you saw calm, cool, and collected, and you saw him, I don't know, he just looked right in the net. And I was really impressed with his play over the last 2 games. I think he's been great. The one in Montreal, he was fantastic. One mistake, but that was it. You know, and he didn't get any help from his team. Today, I thought he was great as well. He might have even been better today than he was against Montreal. Because you go to the first goal of the game, and we always talk about it, right? That important first goal. Well, Christian Dvorak scores a minute 4 in, and we're like, oh boy, this might get ugly. Well, the initial point shot was blocked on the way through, but it was kind of blocked right to a guy. And, you know, Jack Campbell thinks it's coming right through. It doesn't, so he's already down and out, and it's a wide open net, and they bury it. It's 1-0 early. We're like, great, this is how it's going to work. Then with about 5 minutes to go in the first period, Tyson Barrie at the point gets a one-timer, blasts it on, and we have not seen Tyson Barrie let one loose. I've heard a lot of Leaf fans, and I couldn't agree more, ripping him for that overtime, play against Montreal where both two Leafs are deep and he's going in there trying to make a big play. And then there's no one back, and we all know what happened in that Montreal game. But today, I thought he was great today. I mean, I don't know if you guys can agree with me or not, but Tyson Barrie's play today I thought was exceptional. I thought he was fast. I thought he had lots of skill today, and he was putting pucks on the net. He was trying to fire pucks through at any point. And like I said, late in that first period, he gets that one-timer, he blasts it on, it just hits Zach Hyman in front, changes enough direction to go into the back of the net, and we are tied at 1 going into the intermission. So we talk about all the keys to hockey games. Okay, well, who scores the first goal? Okay, well they did there, okay? How does the first period end? Well, you're tied. Okay, so that's all right there. Who usually scores the next goal? That's usually the big one after that. Well, actually, they did. They scored the next goals. Soderberg late in the second period. It was, again, a broken play. Soderberg kind of slapped it. You know, again, Jack Campbell scrambling around trying to find the puck, and it beats him. I don't blame him for either goal. But now you're down 2-1 going into the third period. Shots on goal in the first period were 13-12 in favor of the Leafs. In the second period, 14-10 in favor of Arizona. And like I said, we go to the third period, the Leafs needing a goal. Going into the game today, John Tavares obviously was kind of that game time decision, questionable type of feel today because he had the flu. It seems to be going around the Leafs right now. Nylander had it. He was back tonight. And then Muzzin, was it Muzzin or was it Kerfoot? It was Kerfoot, who just kind of pokes the puck down low to John Tavares. Tavares has fallen, but he somehow gets back up, and a beautiful no-look backhand pass to the center of the ice under the stick of the defender. And Zach Hyman is right there to bury his second goal of the game, and we are tied at 2 early on here in the third period, only a minute 33 into the third, and we're tied. Now you got to find a way to close this game out, all right? Late in the game, right? You could have got some big plays here. Kerfoot actually blocks a shot shorthanded and gets a breakaway, and it was a nice save in net by, by Hill in the net. And then you go to late in the third period, the Leafs get a penalty. And that is a terrible call, in my opinion. I mean, look, I'm not biased Leaf, and I'm trying not to be at least. You watch that replay. I think it was Chychrun who drew the penalty. Even whoever it was. It looked like the stick got up in that, danger area for guys, but it didn't hit him. It did get up in there, and then he kind of fell. It was like, hey, looking at the ref. Whenever a guy looks at the referee or the umpire or the official in soccer or whatever the case may be in any sport, when you look at the official right away and start trying to plead a case, it never usually ends well. Because I thought it was more of a dive. Now, okay, all right, they call the penalty. Okay, now you got to kill off 30 seconds and then go into overtime down a minute and a half of 4-on-3 hockey. Well, you kill the 30 seconds off, you get a point. We're like, okay, that's great news. And then they actually kill the penalty off in the minute and a half in overtime. We're like, okay, that's what you want to see. But then right after the penalty's over, Jacob Chychrun walks on the middle and he scores. And we're like, oh, you got to be kidding me. But immediately after that puck went in, Jack Campbell up and is like, oh, no. I was interfered with. They go to the review. There's lots of things to kind of tick off here. Because obviously the initial call on the ice was a good goal. Okay, so now there's got to be 100% concrete evidence that it is goaltender interference to overturn it. So you look at many different things in this case, in my opinion. One, who initiated contact? Well, again, Campbell did put his glove on him. I'm not going to take that away from them. However, Jack Campbell in the blue paint, and if you watch Derek Stepan skate right through the crease, and his body goes through the crease, and the body bump is what really got me fired up, because I'm like, if they're calling this a good goal, I'm losing it. But the body of Stepan makes contact, and with the glove incident, with his foot in the crease, there's no way they couldn't have brought this back. They do. They say no goal, and then not very long after that, they kind of try and get the puck back to the point. I think it hits a leaf stick or something. I don't know what the hell happened there. But it ends up in the area, and Kasperi Kapanen, a guy who has not scored since the beginning of flippin' January, and a guy this year who he really hasn't used his speed a whole lot, bats the puck out of midair, in front of him and kind of to the far side, and turns on those jets. We have not seen that from Kapanen in quite a while, whether it's being at practice or not, on time at least. And he starts boogieing. I think initially, when he's going for that puck, I'm like, he's going to stop up and look for somebody. No. He gets the puck, he goes right to the net, and he loves a little backhand, forehand, top cheese, and that's exactly what he does as he buries the overtime winner. Excuse me, his 11th goal of the year. Leafs win it 3-2 in OT. Like I said, was it pretty? No. Is it a win? Oh, it's a win, all right. And you know what, Leaf fans? I understand this team may not be playing very well lately, and they're kind of grinding through games right now. You got to remember, you don't have Morgan Riley. The D-core as itself, as the Leafs D-core isn't very good. Even healthy, they're not very good. And you don't have your guy in Morgan Riley. Your 70-point defenseman last year. You don't have him. So yeah, they're struggling real hard to find some sort of defensive way. But now you've got a goaltender in Jack Campbell in the net that you trust. I trust this guy now. Watching him through the first 3 games, more or less the last 2, you really start to trust him. He makes saves. He's very calm in the net. And he's really good at smothering the puck. That's something I've really learned about him. He doesn't give away a lot of rebounds. And when he does, you can't really help it. I love the play of Jack Campbell. Clearly, I've noticed a few things with him. Number one, whenever there's a guy in front and he sees one of his guys do a job to push them out of the way so he can get a clean look, he always taps his guys like, hey, good job, boys. Great job. And you saw him after the game, how jacked up he was to get that win. He is here. He wants to be here. He's getting an opportunity to play, and he's making the most of it. I love what we're seeing from Jack Campbell, guys. He has been incredible. And listen to this number, okay? I think, if I'm not mistaken, all year long, we have got a total of 9 points from a backup goaltender. 9. That is including Hutchison and I think Kaskasuo for that one game. But Kaskasuo got lit up against Pittsburgh that one game. But 9 points. Jack Campbell has played 3 games, and he has 5. Did we maybe just solve our backup goaltender situation? I think we might have. Campbell's playing really good hockey. He's getting the opportunity to play. And you know what this does? And not only is it giving the Leafs points and helping their playoff hopes and what... You know what this is going to do to Frederik Andersen? A guy who right now probably ain't feeling the greatest, but he would push through to help his team. But he's seeing a guy in net right now doing pretty good. So who knows? They might give him another start off. Because why do you need him right now? Campbell's playing extremely well. And the Leafs probably, now that I assume they have some trust in Jack Campbell, they might run him out there and not run Frederik Andersen right through the ground. It's going to be really interesting to see down the stretch of the season and hopefully into the playoffs how they work this Jack Campbell and Frederik Andersen tandem. I'm really intrigued to see how Sheldon Keefe and the coaching staff go about this. I mean, we all assume Frederik Andersen's going to be in for the next game, but until anything is confirmed, I think it's going to be Jack Campbell. You know, Dallas Stars are coming to town next. That's a very good hockey club. It's Jack Campbell's first hockey team, the team that drafted him. You think he wants to play against them? Yeah. Especially the way he's playing right now, the opportunity that he is getting here in Toronto right now. It's incredible, guys, to see what he is doing. And good news, Leaf fans. Well, good and bad news. I'll give you the bad news first. Florida won today against New Jersey, so they kind of stay pace with us right now, 2 points behind us in the Atlantic Division. But we won, so really all that matters. The good news, Florida played yesterday as well against Philly and lost in regulation. So you know what that means? The Leafs are 2 points up, and Florida only has the one game in hand. Yes, if they win the game, they would pass the Leafs, but you are forcing them to win their game. And that's the key right now. The Leafs, if they can find a way to build some wins like the Raptors are right now, forcing teams to win, and if the Leafs can start doing that with teams like Florida and Montreal and guys like that, you're going to be in a really good situation. And I'm really proud of these guys right now for the way that they're playing. I thought tonight, you know, as much as the 3-2 overtime grinded out victory, they won in shots, I think it was like 41-37, and they won in the third period shots. Crazy, you know, we're so used to blowing the lead the last couple games. We came back in this game, tied it up, and won in overtime. So I understand this team is a little all over the place. You got to remember they're not healthy. You remember how much of a big impact Ilya Mikheyev made? Yeah, well, he's gone. Riley, you don't have him. You don't have Anderson right now. And I know Ceci was we all have our own opinions on Cody Ceci, but he's out long term. So you're running with Sandin and Liljegren on your point, on your third pairing. And yeah, they play together in the AHL, but that's a totally different beast playing in the NHL. So I'm proud of the guys for getting 5 points in their last 6 games. Do I still think they need to add something at the deadline? No question about it. But the way they're going about it, with the way they went out there today, I think they played a really good hockey game. I know people are going to have some other opinions and whatnot. Did they start the game on time? No, they didn't. But they finished the game the right way. They played an incredibly hard third period, tied the game, killed off a tough penalty in OT, and you got some luck with a little bit of goalie interference. But without the goalie interference, would he have made the save? We'll never know. And then you won it in OT. Take 2 points, you move on from it. All right? Like I said, the next game is against the Dallas Stars. They're on Thursday night at Scotiabank Arena. Ben Bishop, and it says Frederik Andersen. I'm going to guess it's Jack Campbell. Going to be in the net there. 7 o'clock puck drop there at Scotiabank Arena. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and loved this game today, because I thought it was a very entertaining hockey game today at Scotiabank Arena. Smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video. What were your thoughts? Who was your MVP in today's game? Would you give it to... I'm going to give it to Jack Campbell. The guy deserved it. He's my MVP. 2 goals on 37 shots. Yes, please. Big night for Jack Campbell in net. If you have any other opinions who your MVP was, maybe a Zach Hyman with a 2-goal game, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Who'd you like? Who'd you not like in the game today? All right. And Twitter is down below for myself. Guys, follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Patreon link is down below for that. So if you guys are interested in signing up for that, the link is down below. And I will talk to you guys Raptors edition as they look to push their win streak up to 16 games tomorrow night in Brooklyn. It's a 7:30 tip-off there at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. The Nets have been playing very good basketball without Kyrie Irving. So that's just the usual, I guess. Yeah, that's just usual for the Brooklyn Nets. But they're 6-4 in their last 10 games. Raptors obviously playing really, really well. We don't know who will be back tomorrow. Hopefully Ibaka will be back tomorrow. That's the hope and pray. But we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out. Raptors, like I said, look for win number 16 in a row. And as for our Leafs, as we've mentioned, their next contest is on Thursday night at Scotiabank Arena as they welcome in the Dallas Stars to town. Ben Bishop and Frederik Andersen are the expected goaltenders in that game. Probably going to be Jack Campbell, though, if it's my opinion. But if Freddie's ready to go, he's ready to go. That's just my opinion there. 7 o'clock puck drop there at Scotiabank Arena. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys know the video. Talk to you guys then.